So there we go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Solomon James, and I want to welcome you to this amazing overview of something that is getting me excited, probably out of my skin. I'm trying to contain my joy. I'm trying to contain my excitement because what I'm seeing is just unveiling before my eyes, um, and that's why we are trying to hold this together. A lot of people to see what this is all about and the possibilities and the potential. So, welcome to becoming a venture capitalist with as little as $100. Um, you don't need to be a financial person. You don't need to work in a bank. But every time we hear the word venture capital, venture capitalist, it looks like one big mega thing that is for the multi-billionaires. Is out of our reach. How can we participate? So when people, is it really possible for us to be a venture capitalist with as little as $100? Well, fasten your seatbelt because this train is going to go very, very fast. Perhaps in another 45 minutes, we will be done. This presentation will take 45 minutes because I'm just super excited and we're trying to condense this. So let's go dive in and see what it's all about. First of all, I want us to understand here that venture capitalist is not something new. A venture capital, which people refer to as VC, is a form of private equity and is a type of financing that investors provide to startup companies and small businesses that are believed to have long-term growth potential. We've seen this around even some Nigeria, Flutter Wave, Paystack. We've seen a lot of these guys uh, get venture capital funds into what they do to be able to take them to the next level. But basically, people believe that these things have long-term growth potential, so they lock in. So venture capital generally comes from well-off investors, which is why sometimes when this round of investment comes, you don't even get to hear about it. You don't get to hear about it. Sometimes it's much more like the stock market, where in those days where you play, people go for ICO, no IPO, okay, initial public offering. But before initial public offering, there's what they call private. That's where the wealth is. People plug in, they've already seen it, they lock in before it even comes to the public. So, but majorly it's for people who are well off, a lot of well off investors. So you see financial institutions, you see banks, and you see some of these top guys playing the venture capital role. If you are very familiar with Shark Tank, then you will see how they buy into people's idea and fund it, get either share equity and get proper portion income, whatever they have a way of structuring it. If you watch Shark Tank, you see different interplay there. But I don't see anybody go to Shark Tank and say, I need $100. So it's normally in some very huge amount of money. So venture capital projects are capital intensive anyway, because you want to scale your business in various dimensions. So how does this how will this have to do with you? How does this have to do with us? Okay, let me show you something quickly before we move on. Um, do you know that Shopify, Netflix, Uber, Airbnb, and many others all needed venture capital, and the venture capitalists all made big profits? Do you know that? So we see Netflix now, multi-million, billion. Uber is doing Shopify, Airbnb. All of this had their rounds of venture capitalists coming in to provide that support. Now it looks as if it's too far. We didn't see it there. I would have probably taken a look. Let me give you one that is very recent. About 3 weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago, there is a rapper called Nas. His real name is Nasir Jones. This guy in 2013 had the opportunity to also, he has a kind of a venture capital firm, Queensbridge Venture, and they were able, then Coinbase was looking for fund. I mean, they had a the second round of fund that they needed. They needed to raise $25 million for Coinbase. We're talking about 2013, about 8 years ago. And this guy put in between 100,000 to 500,000, 2013. 3 weeks ago, Coinbase went public, listed the NASDAQ stock exchange, and this guy who had put in $100,000 to about $500,000 in that round of investment cashed out that particular day $40 million. He wasn't the one trading. That does not mean he doesn't even have other, perhaps he buys things on Coinbase and things like that. He's a rapper, he's an entertainer. But just because he was able to play a fractional role and allowed almost 7 years, 8 years, when Coinbase went public, this guy made $40 million that day. And guess what? This guy is going to make more because the Coinbase price is still going up. This is an example of somebody locking in as a venture capitalist. Now, I don't know how many of us here have $100,000 or $500,000 to lock in. But what we're about to show you tonight is something that even with $100, you can play. But it will make more sense if you can play more. So let's take a look at this. What if you could participate in a venture capital raise of the world's largest, biggest financial technology project with as little as $100? Just think about that. Now, imagine receiving equity. Imagine receiving profit from the development of this new technology that basically will change the whole financial trading industry. Perhaps this is what Coinbase was saying. That idea, and a young man saw that idea and decided to partner. And now look at what he cashed out just one day, $40 million out of that. You know, the best part is this, that right now this venture capital raise is only available to the general public. The little guys like me, the little guys like you, because again, I don't really see any venture capital project that you want to put in $100. I don't see that. So it's always been for the big guys, for the big end of town. But right now, we are having the opportunity to play as small on our own side, as small on your own side, and we put in this energy together, this synergy, and we're able to take this project down. Already, as I talk to you right now, big institutional investment firms are already knocking at the door of this offering with their money, but they are not able to participate. They didn't see it coming. So, as at 2-3 weeks ago, they went to this particular platform and said, look, we want to buy you out. We want to buy out everybody, and let's own it. The guy, the person said, no, you can't buy it out. This is not for the big guys. You want to monopolize the wealth, monopolize everything. We want this to go out to everybody. As a result, now I can participate, you can participate, and that's why we're on this call. Now, there are 3 types of people when it comes to money and wealth creation. Number 1, we have those that spend more than they make. So these are the type of people that sometimes even you yourself, you wonder how you got through the month. You are earning perhaps 50,000, but you find yourself spending 200,000. And when you ask them, how do you manage? They say, "Nah, God, though." Well, it's God, but you should be able to tell the story. How come you spend more than you make? We have a second category that spend all they make. Because if you spend more than you make, most often than not, you are already indebted. So you are already spending tomorrow. While we have the second category that spend all they make, so they always come back to zero at the end of the month. When you check your books, you check your record, everything comes back to zero. So you might not owe, but you are not living the way you want to live because everything is on zero. But we have a third category that they spend less than what they are putting. What they spend less they spend less than they make, and they put the surplus to work. This is where you want to play. And listen, this thing does not come by default. You must be deliberate. I'm speaking from experience. I'm telling you, these things don't just work because you want to say. You must be very, very intentional. In fact, like the Bible will say, when wealth increase, they that eat it will also increase. So you find out that if you are not deliberate, you will either spend more than you make, or you will spend all that you make and always come back to zero. But this third category, they spend less than they make because they want to be able to take hold of opportunities when those opportunities come around. I don't know which category you are, but it would be my desire that you begin to play and push yourself towards the third category. Now, there are two simple ways you can create wealth, and you can create passive cash flow, wealth and financial independence. Two critical ways. Number one, you have capital. You must have capital, and it could be cash, it could be crypto, it could be real estate. You just have a capital, and you put your capital to work to generate profits for you. For sometimes some people leave the money in the bank. Why? 1%. People don't want to even put money in the bank right now. Some other people go to things like treasury bill. Well, I play also there, and you see they give you 10 to 14% per annum. Right now, it's almost about 3-4% per annum. But people still go to get that because putting in the bank it's not producing anything. So you just have something that is helping you generate more profit. That is one way. Number two, you have no or little capital. First one, you have capital that is working for you. Number two, you have no or little capital. So you are using what we call sweat equity. And you build capital to be able to put that capital to work, which is why whether you are doing a business, your sweat equity is there because you've got to go out every day to work. We're not here to talk about the cash flow quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. Some of us have read about that. You know about that. You must move from the left-hand side to the right-hand side. But yes, sometimes before you move, you can start even as an employee. You can start as a self-employed. Then you begin to tilt and pivot. So if you have a job, your sweat equity is still on. For some of us, yes, we have businesses, but the businesses cannot run. Your sweat equity is still on. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. As long as you are using that to build capital and you are not eating up all that capital, so that you take a portion of that capital and you put it to work. When that happens, then you have set out a system to create passive cash flow, wealth, and financial independence. Now, financial independence basically is when you live off of your profits and you don't have to eat your capital. Now, I grew up in a village and had a stay with my grandmom many years gone by. And when it is harvest time, we harvest the corn and the crops into the barn. And I find out they will take some of this corn, they put them in the upper part of the barn so it gets dry. And I find out, why don't we eat it? No, that is their capital seed. Listen, they were not literate, but they knew how to preserve certain portion of their capital, certain portion of their seed. So financial independence is when you are living off the profit, not eating your capital. We have people today who open shop, both the shop, everything is emptied because you are eating both the capital and you are eating this the profits and the capital. Wealth is built when you can pay for life's luxuries with your profit while your capital grows. Listen, this thing is not easy. It's easier said than done because sometimes you just want to be like the Joneses. Somebody is wearing bling bling. You want to put yourself under pressure. Why that person that is living that lifestyle, many a times they are indebted to live that lifestyle. Many a times they are coming to zero at the month to live that lifestyle, but you do not want to live that lifestyle. It simply means you must be deliberate. That the things you spend money on must be things spent out of your profits and not of your capital. You don't need to impress anybody. I don't impress you, and I will never impress you. I will be the last person to impress you. Listen to me. By the grace of God today, as I speak, I am not indebted to anybody dead or alive. I am not indebted to anybody dead or alive. I don't need to impress you. Anything I spend is off my profit, is not my capital. I was showing somebody today a lot of things that is ongoing for me, and many of them are churning few thousands of naira, some of them dollars per month, and I'm not touching it. I showed the guy today. I said, listen, this is the paradigm we must begin to work with. Perhaps I will have time to talk about the wealth paradigm of people that have built transgenerational wealth. So understand that wealth is when you can pay for the luxuries of life from your profit, not your capital. Your capital must always go in as a seed, spend from the profit. It doesn't let heaven fall. You are not God. You are not El Shaddai. You don't kill yourself. Only spend from your profit. That is my personal position. Now, freedom is something totally different. Freedom is when you can build capital and you can generate cash flow from anywhere in the world, any time of the day, in any economic environment, with as little as a phone, laptop, and internet connection. As I speak to you right now, drop me in Syria. Let there be internet connection. Give me my phone, give me my laptop, nothing is missing. As I speak to you right now, take me to Cameroon. Just let me have access to internet, laptop, and a phone. My life is on. That is freedom. I was speaking to somebody yesterday, Thursday. I went out. I normally leave my home about once a week. Since morning, I'm home. So I had a speaking engagement, and I went and I said to them, and it's been like 1 year before that, the last time I spoke there, and I said to them, I don't come out. In the last 1 year, I have personally not left my home up to 75 times. Up to 75. In fact, I think that's even a far end. And so the guy said, you mean it? I said, yes. Listen, it's because what I do, and I'm not doing it because if I leave Lagos right now, I can't create the same result. I should be able to create the same result. For a lot of us, yes, you might be creating wealth, but if they take you out of that location, your wealth will crumble. It simply means your freedom is still limited. You must understand where we are going. So freedom is when you can build your capital and you can generate your cash flow from anywhere in the world, any time of the day, in any economic environment with as little as a phone, a laptop, and an internet connection. Who is interested in this? If you are, this is your opportunity to create that wealth and that income. So just allow me to show you how this plays out and how you can benefit. Thank you, Precious. You're raising your hand and you are going to get there. So what's the opportunity here? What's the offering? What is on the play and how you can be a part of it? Well, number one, the offering is this. You have the opportunity to get equity in an IPO, public offering of a world-leading fintech company. Remember, I just talk about Nasri Jones. He put it between 100,000 to 500,000 in Coinbase in 2013. Coinbase went public 7-8 years later, last month, 3 weeks ago, and the guy cashed out that particular day 40 million. That opportunity is also available. Equity in an IPO of a leading fintech company. Number two, you have the opportunity for passive income from technology trading in multiple asset class. Now, in his case, I know he put money. I know he would have been getting some small dividend because once you contributed that kind of money, you are going to be getting some form of dividend. And so I think NAS also will be getting that. But what we show you here also, what is on offer, you have the opportunity for passive income from technology trading in multiple asset classes. You also have the opportunity to withdraw your earnings anytime or compound to build long-term wealth. Listen, truly wealth is built long-term. It is not give us is there our daily bread. You can see it took him eight years. How many of us would have waited? We would have been screaming, I hope I've not lost my 100,000. I hope I've not lost my 500,000. But he allowed it to compound, to build, and it is long. So right now, he keeps earning as that continues to go up because he had that opportunity. You have the opportunity while we are going that route to still be making money right now passively and be withdrawing it without your involvement in running this project. Now, there's an opportunity for you to tell others and have what we call life-changing income, but it's 100% optional. You must not talk about this to anybody. You must not refer anybody, but there is that possibility. So let's look at this opportunity. This opportunity is a combination of artificial intelligence and fintech. Now, what does this mean? Artificial intelligence, which is AI, is used by all top financial institutions right now around the world. Your phone, in fact, you see, you want to type something, it's already put in the word. Artificial intelligence is on the go. It's getting hybrid right now. But we are trying to factor in artificial intelligence in the financial world to see what is coming out. Number two, the venture capital raise we are doing is to fund the development of a new super AI. Like I said, many financial institutions are using AI, but what we are funding right now, the venture capital that we raised that is coming up, is for us to be able to fund the development of a new super AI. So this is not just a money pool, a money game. There is a project that is at work, an idea. I remember we defined VC, venture capitalist at the beginning, that they see an idea, they believe this idea has a long-term potential for growth, and people take a stake to fund. Now, the super AI is designed to create trading profit unseen before. Unseen. It is insane what this is going to be doing. And this is the largest financial technology development project currently right now in the world. In the financial space, it's the largest financial technology development project. Now, remember we talk about venture capital, but you see, because it is not for the big guys, because 1-2 persons would have taken care of it. Now we are bringing in a large mass, so it's becoming a crowd fund. Crowdfunding is venture capital raising for the masses. So it's not just 2 people, 3 people, sometimes 10 people, it doesn't even get to 10, and they take over that. But right now, we are opening this to everybody, to the masses to be able to participate. Now, venture capital companies wanted to fund this project, but they were declined. I mentioned that. This project is about bringing wealth to the masses, not to the institutions. Otherwise, the money being raised, institutions can just overnight pay that money, of which they are already on the door knocking to be allowed to do that. Everyone can contribute from $100 up to $102,000. You decide your level of contribution. From $100 up, you decide your level of contribution. And if you contribute up to $102,000, you get what we call a VIP private access to this trading technology. You have your own personal ATM machine that is coughing out money for you every single day. If you're able to go up to 102,000. Now, what's the phase 1 of this crowdfunding project? What's the goal? The goal is to raise $10 million for the development and testing of the super AI. When Coinbase was doing their round B, they needed 25 million. And Nasri Jones put in about 100 to 500,000. For us, it's not 25 million, it's $10 million. And as I speak to you today, out of this 10 million, over 2 million is already raised. Like I said, venture capitalists came in to want to just take the entire thing. We said it's for the masses. So we've been, in our own little way, making contribution. We've done 10 million. Out of the 10 million, 2 million plus have been raised for the development and testing of the super AI. Now, the goal is to raise 500 million US dollars for the trading fund for this AI development and testing. As I speak to you right now, as of this night, over $60 million out of this 500 million has been raised. Now, profits made in the trading fund will be paid out to the contributor. So, like I said, we have already have 60 million. While the development is on, trades are happening with it. And the profits that are made are paid to contributors. Then the future fundraisers will go where that's because this we're in phase 1. Phase 2 will go into forex. Phase 3 will go into stocks. We'll go into commodities, AI, and trading funds. So it's a big project. So this 10 million is just for phase 1, which is just around the crypto AI super intelligent project. Now, the company with this idea, remember, Coinbase was not owned by NAS. Coinbase had this idea. NAS said, okay, you know what? I've seen this idea. Let me be a part of it. So Endotech is the company with this idea. Endotech is the company with this idea. Endotech has a team of over 60 plus AI scientists, quants, analysts, developers, and researchers. Endotech is a world leader in creating AI financial technology for institutional investment. That's what they've been doing. They have a white paper detailing the project, which was published and is being put out there for the world's top AI and trading minds to also contribute. Listen, this, like I said, it's the biggest project in the AI space, that they put it out there so that the top minds, it's not a hidden thing, to say this is what we're doing. It's never been seen before. It's a huge project, guys. Now, Endotech plans to become a public company next year. Now, you can see how long NAS waited, 2013 to 2021. You don't need to wait that long. By next year, 2022, Endotech will be bringing this super AI technology to the world. So who is leading this charge with Endotech? Her name is Dr. Anna Becker. She's the CEO, founder and CEO of Endotech. It's been a dream, it's been a desire, and that's what we are working on. She holds a PhD in artificial intelligence, and she has used her knowledge in the developing of financial technology for over 20 years. She's an author, she's a speaker, she's a consultant, she's a world leader in the AI financial technology space. Previously created and sold financial technology companies in the forex sector. And our technologies are currently being used by leading global banks and investment funds globally. So she already has AI projects that right now banks and financial institutions are using. But now she's stepping up to create something that has never been in the space. So this is the roadmap for Endotech. Endotech began in 2012, so just a year before even Coinbase. They were registered and did a few other things, like said they've created other projects, sold the project, did things. In 2018, they began the commercial use of AI cryptocurrency trading. This year, in fact, they started taking a look at a project, which is the project we are considering right now. Is a Daisy crowd. The project is classified called Daisy. It's a Daisy crowd fund to be able to fund this new super AI. So that's currently what is happening. As a matter of fact, the 2.0 of this project, because we had an opportunity to beta test just for 4 days, then it was shut down. Then March 30th, this project was actually given a go. So just about 40 days ago. 2022, this project will be completed and the Daisy AI and IPO will be live. then we'll now be adding the forex trading with and looking into the $1 billion raise for the forex industry. So that will be the next crowdfunding we'll be doing. 2023, they also have in view to bring an additional asset class to AI, covering the stock market, commodities, and the rest. So it's a growing space. Now, what's the benefit of the smart contract? Now, I will show you something here. We are using smart contracts for development of this project. Just give me a sec. Maybe I'll just check out something, and most probably I will. Let me see if I had that. Okay, yeah, I had that. I wanted to be sure we had that covered so that everybody can get it right. Now, smart contracts are a new technology that ensures all promises, all promised outcomes are delivered. There are too many failures because of human interferences. So we created a project that needs to run through the smart contract. It's being operated in a decentralized environment on the blockchain, free of human intervention, and it provides full transparency of all transactions for your peace of mind. All transactions are very transparent, 100% transparent, and even as at that, they are still getting companies like KPMG to audit them. There's instant payout for those of us that choose to share with others, so we have referral earnings to your personal wallet, which you control. Now, we use the TRON blockchain for this project. And what's the benefit of using the TRON blockchain? Because the TRON blockchain is among the fastest and the most scalable blockchain. The TRON blockchain is the top emerging decentralized app platform right now in the world. And we are using USDT for the payment for this project. USDT is what you will need. Why? Because the USDT, especially the TROC20 token, dominates all USDT liquidity in the market, so it is used as the choice for funding of your contribution. TRON blockchain has very low transaction fees for transferring of your funds. Now, how do I partake? Like I said, you can begin for as low as $100. So for example, when we are done and somebody says, I'm interested, there are 10 levels to which you can participate. The minimum here is $100. The minimum here is $100. If you make $100 tier contribution, that $100 will be splitted into two. $50 will go into passive trading for you. Now, I just talk about NAS putting in about 100 to 500,000, and perhaps needed to wait till 8 years after to cash out at least a portion of it. But in this case, you don't need to wait till 2018, even though it's going live next year. For making that contribution, half of that contribution, Endotech will take it, apply their trading algorithm to it for it to start trading for you, for you to be making profits. And you can begin making profit as between 24 to 48 hours, and you see it build. The next tier is $200. $200 is not an additional $100. It's a totally new tier contribution of 200. So if I want to do tier 1, tier 2, like I said, the minimum of 100. If I want to do tier 1 and tier 2, that would be a total of $300. It simply means now I'll have $150 in trade. The other 50 is in the kind of a referral network. So if you are not interested, you don't need to. You still have part of your money in trade. And you can see here, you're also getting shares, just like NAS is also getting shares with Endotech, with Coinbase also. If you want to do tier 1 to tier 3, that will give you, tier 3 is 400. See, 100, 200, 400, that's a total of $700. So it's splitted 50-50. If you want to do tier 1 to tier 4, is 1,500. Okay, yesterday I registered somebody came in and contributed 1,500. Today I have somebody coming in from the UK who made a contribution of tier 1 to tier 3, which is 700. If you want to do tier 1 to tier 5, you will need 3,100 in total. If you want to do tier 1 to tier 6, you need 6,000 300. We want to do tier 1 to tier 7 is 12,700. I'm on tier 7, which is a total of 12,700. And within the next 7 days plus, I should go to tier 8 because what I'm seeing is mind blowing. I don't want to leave any money on the table. And for some of us who are 100, you want to go 200, you want to go 400, you want to go to the next level as fast as possible. And I will show you the reason why. So any contribution you make between tier 1 and tier 7 will be divided 50-50, meaning 50% of that will go into passive trading for you. You don't need to lift a finger. Your index finger, as long as it's alive, can only go for you to check your profit. Anything you do from tier 8 to tier 10, which is just 3 levels, 12,800, you add another 25,600, you add another 51,200. From tier 1 to tier 10 is a total of 102,300. Now, from tier 8 to 10, it now goes 70-30, which is why you see here that 50% of tiers from tier 1 to tier 7 and 70% of tiers from tier 8 to 10 are located to the trading fund. What does this mean? If you are going tier 8 downward, you are getting more money passively trading for you. Now, what's the benefit for those of us who are passive? I do know a lot of us are working, a lot of us are busy with our businesses, a lot of us are busy with our jobs. You might not even have time to be talking to people, telling people anything. Nas wasn't going to be checking what's Coinbase doing. I mean, he's an entertainer. He's rapping, he's doing his own stuff, but he knows these guys are working. But in this system, we are not waiting to go public. You have some level of passive benefit, even though you do not talk to anybody, just come in yourself. How does that play out? Remember that 50 to 70% of your contribution will go into trading fund earnings, and you'll be getting passive trading reward instantly. You don't need to know candle, you don't need to do anything. Suppose I can make more money than myself. Go and get involved with the emotional roller coaster, checking candle, you are seeing candlesticks in your dream, you are waking up instead of doing your morning devotion, you are thinking where the direction is going. You make money, but you are losing your health. I have been there. Endotech historically has developed an average annual profit of 200%. Listen, I'm just trying to be conservative. 200, 300, 500%, 800% per annum. They've done over 2,000% in just about 34 months. So let's even allow that it's 200%. And I'm just trying to tell you what I'm telling you is just conservative. It's better we play low so that your expectations can be managed. So if you think 200% is not good enough, perhaps you can go and do some high yield investment program. And this is not it. This is a real project. But I'm telling you, I know why we are using 200, because sometimes there are numbers you say people don't even believe it anymore. Now, the goal of the super AI development is to increase the current trading result by up to 4%. And I'll show you some of these results. That what they are doing right now, when by next year this project is completed, we will be having 4 times the result. Just think about that. And yet, you have exclusive equity shares in the IPO of Endotech that is planned for next year. Just think about that. Now, these are a few live results from Endotech's trading. As a matter of fact, this is my personal result. A few of us had the opportunity to beta test it, like I said, and $100. I went 200. I went 300. I went 400. 500 up to 12,000 plus where I am right now. And I started seeing results. Wow, 2% profit. Like some of us are saying, 5% profit. So 10%. I saw like 7% here, $233. Wow, I saw 13%, 420. Look, I see 420. This was even last week, Monday. Last week, Monday. And I wanted to withdraw it. I said, let me just leave it. By Saturday, when I was to withdraw, it has, in fact, by between Monday and Saturday, this 420 had grown to 1,207. I did not trade nada. For those of us who have been following, remember I showed this last week. Immediately I withdrew this money, 1,200 in 48 hours, another $1,000 profit had come in. So just think about that. It is passive. It means in 48 hours, I had made about $2,200. It is passive. I sleep, I wake up, I see it growing. Now, and remember, you can withdraw at any time. So you can see here, request withdrawal. Let me show us the something, please, guys. Just watch, take a look at the screen. Let me show you something, because this evening, some magic seems to be happening. Let me come here, and let me do this one. So let me share the screen. I hope you can see my screen. I want to make sure you are seeing the screen. If you can see my screen with Daisy, please type a yes, because I want to show something. Is that this is the real? I'm logging in live to report. I don't know what the numbers are, but please, can I get a yes? Let me see. Okay, Rolly, thank you very much for that feedback. Now, Rolly, I think you were around. I don't know, was it on Wednesday or on Monday when I was screaming that the numbers are going high. In fact, like last week Monday, between that Monday alone, the profit margin was about $10 million in one day. And I was screaming. Those people just saw me posting it. I was excited because $10 million in one day. And if you have $100, your own contribution of that 10 million will also be given to you. If you had $200, total of 300, whatsoever, everybody were all happy. Now, I remember as at that Monday, we're still taking a look at, it was still between 69, 70, 70 million in total form or thereabout. So please, guys, watch me as I log in live to an account, and I'll show you something. Jesus. Now this is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. Now, guys, for those of us who are on this call, you can go and look. I pasted the recording, and I think I showed some practicals. You can see this. Now, it simply means between, and we're talking about almost 70 million or so, 72 million. It means just for this week alone, up till now, we've done about almost 14, 16 million. As a matter of fact, for today alone, they've done about $7.5 million in profit today alone. If any of us had the opportunity to log into your back office, I know some of us are seeing zeros. Don't worry, I also see that, and they've sent all of that to be rectified. They are working on that. For those of us who can see, because I had to get into an account that I can see to be able to see what is happening. That just as at yesterday, it was still 78. In fact, yesterday, if you've logged, if anybody that is here that is already in, you would have been seeing 77 million. So if between yesterday, 77 million, 76, 77 million, and till today, and it's now 86 million, we're looking at about $8 to $9 million in profit in 24 hours. Now, take a look. This person here did just tier 1 to 3, which is 700. So you don't need, this person has not brought in one person. You can see here, there is no personal referral, zero. So this person has not brought in a dime of anybody, just making her contribution. But take a look, guys. Let me go to the font here now. I just click font, get set, go. Look at it. Look, just take a look at it, guys. This is how I told you 50% of it will be in trade. 50%. So look at her 50% of that 700, 350. But what are you seeing right now? $186 in profit. That means she has made 53% without lifting a finger. If she had put this money in treasury bill, it's 14% for the year. 14% for the year. So she's seeing 53%, and she did just tier 1 to 3. If she did tier 1 to 5, it would have been mega. If she did tier 1 to 7, probably she'll be seeing almost $3,000 or $4,000 already. Because tier 1 to 7 is 12,000 plus, which is about 6,000. So already she's doing 50,000 plus, she's doing almost 3,500. Correct, 3,500, 4,000 in profit for what you are not lifting your finger. And this thing is just running less than 40 days. Guys, think about it. Now, do you remember we are talking about 200% minimum for a year, and it's compounding and it's going. Because this morning, in fact, this is our own portfolio. So you can see it here. She did 100, she did 200. So let's go back here. Let's go to trading fund. Trading fund. The total portfolio right now. Wow, I'm excited. Just super excited, guys. Super excited. Guys, take a look. Wow, we've even increased. More people are jumping in right now. So you see the total portfolio. As at the last time we presented, I was showing it was almost 30%, 32%, 30, 31%, 29, 30%. Take a look, guys. It's down 42%. So right now we have a total of $61 million in the pool. Remember, I even said it was 60 million because the last time I checked this afternoon, it was 60 million. It means a lot of people are seeing this and they are jumping in. But not just that, probably $1 million that come in. Take a look at the profit margin. Remember, for those of us who have seen what I was showing before, it's now no longer 70, no longer 71 million, 72 million. It's now 86 million. The profit now is $26 million for the community. $26 million. So everyone that has made this contribution is sharing from this 26 million. So we have 42% of this money, but her own personal contribution is what is reflecting 53%. I don't know whether you get it. So the total trading portfolio is there. Based on your own contribution, your own will be showing and you can see it. And if you want to withdraw it, you will have the opportunity. You can see here, request withdrawal. As long as you have up to $50, you can withdraw. But think about it that without lifting a finger, it's not in the bank where they are removing maintenance fee and all those things. Rather, our money is gaining. And I said to her, if this money were to be Naira, being placed in your account, will they have gained 50%? Think about it. So this is what we are talking about here, guys. And this is just a bonus. While we are waiting for the super AI to be created, they are using part of your money to give you, to trade, and to reward you. What are you doing? Absolutely nothing. Okay, so let's get back to this. And where's my slide? Okay, good. So you see, I'm not just showing you, this is my personal one, I'm showing you live trade. I hope you saw that. So what I just showed you has nothing to do with you bringing anybody. There is no referral to make that. It's just making your contribution, a portion of it is working while the algorithm, the super AI is being created for you to earn. So they also have a referral pay plan. Remember, it's 100% optional. Referral bonus on contributions of personal referral. Anybody you get in, you get to earn about 5% for whatever the person gets in, makes a contribute. So let's say somebody brought in that 700. You're the one that invited that person in. That $700, you will earn 5% of it. The person joins with 100, you earn 5%. The person goes for 200, you earn 5%. The person goes for 400, it keeps going. The person goes from 1 to 10. 100 and 2,300, you earn 5% of that. Your trade is still on. That is even passive. We have network bonuses of up to 10 generations of the referral that you earn. Matching bonuses of your network income earned by your referral. The people you got in are earning, you are also earning. Then this is the one that I just threw that excites me. You earn on trading rewards from 10 generations of your referral. So the people you got in, like this person now, that's not my account, that's somebody's account that I have access to. She's made 53%. If she withdraws her profit, I will earn 3.5% of whatever she withdraws. Just think about it. It's her money. And if she withdraws, the trading will continue again. It's going up. So the more money she's building up, the more I will be making. Just think about, so imagine you have 1,000 people who they don't want to even bring anybody, but they just want to be able to make a contribution and be a part of this venture capital raise. And yet their portfolio is running, is trading, they are making profit, and now they want to withdraw their profit. You can withdraw any single time, unless we're having a maintenance to either make sure the system is fast That's the only time you can withdraw. Or there is an audit, like 3 weeks ago when KPMG was auditing the account to make sure. Listen, how many companies get KPMG is one of the top 4 in the world to edit the trades. You earn a share of all global crowdfunding contribution. There is a level you grow into where everybody that registered anywhere in the world, a fraction of that comes to you. There is a level you get to that every trade in the world, like I just showed you, $26 million profit, 1.8%, in fact, 3.6% of that will be put in a pool. 2.25% of that will be put in a pool for everybody who have attained that level to be earning. Just think about multiple ways for you to earn. But again, it's not compulsory. So what's the benefit of referring contributors? You create a supplementary income or life-changing income from referral commission. I remember the first time we went live, in 24, 48 hours, I'd done over $4,500. I shared it. I shared my screen. You see, again, I'm one person. I don't hide behind the screen. No. It's not a sub. If it's working, I show it. Which most time we come in on, I show my screen. 24 hours, I'd done over 3,500. 48 hours, I'd done over $4,500. That was even team building. And listen, from that, it was just from about 10 people. It wasn't from 100 people. It was just 10 people that created that portfolio. Just think about that, 10 people. I can't tell you how much comes in daily, weekly. And yet trading is ongoing. Somebody said to me, I withdrew last week. I said, thank you for withdrawing. I was paid for you withdrawing. I spoke with somebody today, said I withdraw. I said, wow, that simply means the commissions I got for you withdrawing your profit in trade. Just think about that. You receive a share of all crowdfunding contribution and all trading rewards generated globally. You can receive additional equity shares in the IPO when qualified for incentive program. I wish NAS would be thinking, if I knew, I would have put in more money. You use your referral income to fund additional crowdfunding contributions and create more income. So while your trading is on, by sharing and building a team, building a tribe, you can make, like I told you, in 24 hours, I had made over $3,500, $4,500 actually. And I took from that to upgrade myself. Because actually I started tier 1 to tier 5. Tier 6 was an extra 3,200, and I just took out of that profit and upgraded it. Think about that possibility. Just because I was sharing with my friends, and they were not a million, just less than 10 people. So as we bring this to a close, just imagine that you own equity in the next tech giant that will revolutionize the financial industry. Just imagine that you can earn passive trading rewards as the new super AI is developed. Now, imagine what I just showed you, 52, 53%. And the super AI is supposed to deliver 4x of that. So that means we would have been looking about 112% for that account. It's so exciting, freaking exciting. No emotions attached to it. You just make sure you have internet and you have a phone and just log into your phone, log into a device anywhere in the world. This is what I was talking about. So you can create wealth anywhere in the world. I don't need to be in traffic. I don't need to come out. I have my money working for me. And you have the opportunity to earn referral income from sharing this opportunity with others. If you don't, there is no big deal. Your trading is still on. You still have your equity stake. Like NAS, perhaps when they go public, yours might be 40 million also. But before they do that, several people are making life-changing. I was doing analysis with somebody, one of the leaders on the call today. And when we analyzed, he said to me, do you know that this means you can be doing about $3,000 to $4,000, $5,000 a month passively? I said, yes, I'm already seeing that. Because I made 1,200 in 48 hours. It was already another $1,000. That was already 2,000 plus. And now it has got, from what I have seen, there is no doubt my profit is almost 2,000 plus, going to 3,000. And all of this are happening just in this 1 week of May. So what will happen by next week? What will happen? And we have 3 more weeks to go. Think about it. And I'm still at home. And I'm not the one trading. Guys, this is how you can be a part of a venture capital system with as low as $100. So what next? Please get started today, perhaps tonight. And let me say this: every time you delay, you are postponing your profit. Because for some of us who were on this call on Wednesday, when I showed you, remember on Wednesday also I was showing, and on Monday, those of us who were on the call on Monday, when I was showing, it has not even risen. That Monday I was screaming that, wow, we make almost 8 million today. Then it became 10 million. And between then and now, an extra 8-9 million has come in again, and you have not started off, which that money ought to have been coming to you. You don't need to bring anybody. Just plug in. So please get back to the person who shared this opportunity with you so that I can show you how to get started and be a part of this exceptional project that we are all on, and we are participating and funding together. Listen to me. We will end 2020 with a bang. Trust me on this. Will you be among those that will be sharing the story? Otherwise, I knew when it was 10 million. I knew when it was 20 million. See, every time we come for this meeting, have you seen that the prices are going up? I don't know how many of us have been consistent. Have you seen that every meeting, the total fund profit is on the rise? Even 2 weeks ago, when the entire world lost almost 20%, we were on a rise. It's not human trade. It's an AI, and yet we are now creating a super AI to give 4 times the result. Guys, you don't want to miss out on this. So please get back to the person that invited you. Let them get you started. Thank you very much for being a part of this call tonight. God bless you, and have an exceptional night first. God bless you.